Here's something nobody told you in school. The way you sleep right now, one long stretch, 8 hours straight, alarm goes off, you stumble to the coffee machine. That's not how humans were designed to sleep. And the proof? It's been sitting in American history books this whole time, hidden inside old diaries, court records, and colonial letters, just waiting for someone to actually read them. Because it turns out your great-great-great-grandmother didn't sleep the way you do. She slept in two separate chunks. And she wasn't tired, she wasn't broken. Okay, so picture this. It's 1742, somewhere in colonial Virginia. A farmer named Thomas finishes his supper, says goodnight to his family, and goes to bed at around 8 or 9 p.m. He sleeps deeply for about 4 hours. Then, right around midnight, he wakes up. And here's the wild part. He's not panicking. He's not staring at the ceiling wondering why his brain won't shut up. He gets up, maybe reads by candlelight, prays, has a quiet conversation with his wife, or just sits and thinks. Then, after an hour or so, he goes back to sleep for another 4 hours. One historian, a guy named A. Roger E. Kirch at Virginia Tech, spent 16 years going through old documents, and he found hundreds of references to this two-phase sleep pattern across centuries of Western history. It wasn't just America either. It showed up in England, France, Africa, ancient Rome. Even in Homer's Odyssey, there's a reference to the first sleep. This wasn't a quirk. This was just how humans slept for most of human history. So again, what happened? Two words: streetlights. Okay, a few more words than that. But seriously, it started with artificial light. In the late 1600s, cities in Europe started putting oil lamps on streets. For the first time, nighttime wasn't just dark. Factories started running night shifts, businesses stayed open later, social life expanded into the evening hours, and slowly, without anyone really deciding it, the idea of sleeping in two chunks got replaced by the idea of one long block of sleep. And with that change came a brand new problem. Millions of people started waking up in the middle of the night, feeling alert and restless around midnight or 1 a.m., and having absolutely no idea what was happening to them. Doctors started diagnosing it, naming it, treating it. A researcher named Thomas Ware actually tested this in the early 1990s. He took a group of volunteers and removed artificial light from their lives for weeks. No lamps, no screens, just natural darkness in the evening. And you know what happened? Within a few weeks, every single participant started naturally shifting into a two-phase sleep pattern. Ware described that in-between window as a uniquely peaceful state of consciousness. Not quite awake, not quite asleep. Brainwave patterns similar to deep meditation. Prolactin, a hormone linked to relaxation and calm, was surging during that time. Basically, your ancestors weren't just awake in the middle of the night. They were in one of the most naturally relaxed states a human body can be in, and they were using that time to think, to pray, to be creative, to connect with whoever was lying next to them. Some historians believe this quiet midnight hour was actually when a lot of deep thinking happened throughout history.
We have sleep trackers, melatonin gummies, $400 weighted blankets, an entire podcast dedicated to optimizing our rest. And the answer might have been sitting in a 300-year-old handwritten diary in a Virginia archive the whole time. And the answer might have been sitting in a 300-year-old handwritten diary in a Virginia archive the whole time. So here's the thing I want you to take away from this. If you've ever woken up in the middle of the night, felt completely alert, laid there frustrated, convinced something was wrong with you, maybe nothing was wrong with you. Maybe you were just waking up between your first sleep and your second sleep, exactly like every human who came before you did for thousands of years. Your body isn't malfunctioning. It might just be remembering something very, very old. And the next time it happens, instead of grabbing your phone and spiraling, and try sitting with it. Be quiet. Let your brain do whatever it's trying to do in that strange, calm, in-between space. Your ancestors would call that the best part of the night. Maybe they were onto something.